The toilet rat yesterday demanded, in his usual 2-year-old way, this slimy fuck, demanded the arrest of Democratic lawmakers who publicly told members of the U.S. military and intelligence communities to disobey any orders they perceived to be illegal, which is part of the Universal Code of Military Justice, isn't it? And the toilet rat went on his Pravda social media platform and in all caps wrote, "Seditious behavior at the highest level." No, asshole, the seditious behavior at the highest level is you filthy bastard. Going back to January 6, 2020, when you ordered your stupid fucking brain-dead idiots to attack the U.S. Capitol. Was it 2021? Who knows? Anyway, the toilet rat he went on to write this on Pravda Social, quote, "Each one of these traitors to our country should be arrested and put on trial." And he later added that the behavior was punishable by death. And he reposted a post that proclaimed, "Hang them, George Washington would." Jesus Christ. Now, where did all this come from? Well, I'm sure you know by now. It came in response to a video released Thursday of 6 Congress members, all of whom have military, a couple of them have intelligence experience. And what the video said, it cautioned that, quote, "threats to our Constitution aren't just coming from abroad, but from right here at home," end quote. No shit. So the message appeared to just freak the toilet rat out completely. This guy who's known for seeking retribution against his foes. And the toilet rat who has successfully lobbied for federal investigations of their conduct, upending enduring norms that insulate federal law enforcement from political influence. Those days are gone. You know that as well as I do. Now, according to the Washington Post, it was not immediately clear which orders concerned the lawmakers who made these statements, or this joint statement. But some of the people who signed on to that, 6 of them, was it 6? 6 or 7, have said they're hearing from service members who are questioning the legality of the murder strikes that have been ordered by the toilet rat against people who the toilet rat says are trafficking narcotics by sea. Senator Mark Kelly, one of the veterans, a Navy combat veteran, says in the video, quote, "Our laws are clear. You can refuse illegal orders." Representative Chris Deluzio, who also served in the Navy, wrote, quote, said, "You must refuse illegal orders," end quote. So no sooner did this filthy, slimy bastard, Donald Trump, burp up his bullshit. I guess what he means is that people in the military are supposed to obey illegal orders. Well, of course. But to Trump, any order that comes from his tiny little shithole of a mouth is not an illegal order. That is divine directive. Because you know God speaks through Donald Trump. The Senate Majority Leader, Schumer, told some reporters that he had alerted U.S. Capitol Police to the threats that are certainly going to come. And it's my understanding that one of the female representatives who signed on to this video, who are part of the video, has already received literally thousands, that's right, thousands of death threats. Those are the red hat wearing assholes who lurk in the closets and just wait for the bitch bastard Donald Trump to say something provocative so they can leap out of the closet and say, "Yes, kill them, string them up, butcher them, cut them in chunks like a Mohammed Bonesaw Do that. The video, which was organized by Senator Elissa Slotkin of Michigan, who's a former CIA analyst, also has representatives, including Maggie Goodlander from New Hampshire, who's a former Navy member, Chrissy Houlihan from Pennsylvania, former Air Force officer, Jason Crow of Colorado, a former Army Ranger. And Slotkin, Senator Slotkin of Michigan, she said, quote, I would hope that people of all backgrounds would agree that threatening death for people you disagree with is beyond the pale for who we are as Americans. Now, she said that in response to the filthy, disgusting toilet rats' comments about seditious behavior, death row. And then Trump's little bitch, who is the press secretary, the one that wears the instrument of torture around her creamy neck. I'm talking about Carolyn Leavitt. She said yesterday that Trump was not suggesting violence against that people in that video. Little Miss torture device wearing freak Leavitt added this, quote, these members knew what they were doing, and the message they sent was very dangerous and perhaps punishable by law. Then she added this, I'm not a lawyer. I'll leave that to the Department of Justice, the Department of War to decide. She went on to say that every single order that is given to this United States military by this commander-in-chief and through his command chain of command, through the Secretary of War, is lawful. It's lawful. End quote. Oh, I wish this little Leavitt bitch would just go ahead and pray herself into a fucking coma and then choke on her own bile. I'm so sick of, I try not to watch this freak, Carolyn Leavitt. I really do. I go out of my way to avoid it. But sometimes when I'm watching a newscast and part of the video section of the newscast contains maybe 15, 20 seconds of this crazy bitch talking. And it just, I'll tell you, I can't think of another person. I know I've said this about other members of the slime balls that make up Trump's high command, but I can't think of another person who gives me the cold fucking chills more so than this little cross-wearing bitch, Carolyn Leavitt. Oh my God. So anyway, back to the Pentagon. Yesterday morning, they didn't respond to the toilet rat's post. And traditionally, the U.S. military, as I mentioned, adheres to the Uniform Code of Military Justice, which holds that service members must obey lawful orders. That's all. Whether they agree with them or not. If it's a lawful order, fucking do it. That's why you're in the military. That's what it means by chain of command. So, members of the military are obligated to not, N-O-T, not follow, quote, manifestly unlawful orders, end quote. But those situations are very rare up until the time of this filthy, stinking Donald Trump. But one thing he just doesn't seem to get, and I think maybe there are a bunch, maybe hundreds of thousands of members of the U.S. military who also don't understand the oath they took. And the oath they and the filthy toilet rat took was an oath to the U.S. Constitution, not to the toilet rat. Now, that's so basic and elemental and essential. Surely you would think, right? I'm sorry, I don't mean to call you Shirley. Absolutely, you would think that members of the military, when they raise their hand and swear to defend, protect the Constitution, enemy, foreign defense, that they understand that they're taking an oath to the Constitution. You'd think. So on the Senate floor, after the toilet rat's admonition to his zombies to go kill, Schumer called on, quote, every representative, every American, regardless of party, to condemn this immediately and without qualification, because if we don't draw a line here, there's no line left to draw, end quote. Chuck, No offense. I call you Chuck? No? Oh, okay. Senator Schumer, are you... I mean, what the fuck is your problem? I'm going to call you Chuck anyway. What's the matter with you, Chuck? Jesus fucking Christ. Red lines? You're still talking about painting red lines somewhere? Where have you been for the past 10 months? Almost 11. Where were you during the first 4 years? This fucking guy is a psychotic son of a bitch, Trump. And red lines don't exist. The fucker's colorblind, for one thing. If he sees a red line, he doesn't see it as red, Chuck. Come on. God damn it, quit saying stuff like that. Now, there's a joint statement issued by members of the House Democratic leadership. And that statement condemned what the Democratic leadership refers to as the president's, quote, disgusting and dangerous death threats against members of Congress, end quote. That is what should be talked about and condemned, not the statement made by the 6 or 7 military and intelligence veterans who were simply restating what every member of the military either has been told or understands, but it's been made very clear. This is one of the reasons the toilet rat got rid of the Judge Advocate General's office throughout the military. Because had the toilet rat said something like this with the JAG offices still open, they would have been on him like white on rice, like, what the fuck are you talking about? But that's one of the reasons the toilet rat got rid of the JAG offices, because now he can issue an order. And there's no JAG office left to say, wait. You can't do that. That's illegal. And the filthy toilet rat's belief, hope, plan is that vast numbers of the military will hear his command order and go do it, especially when it concerns shooting on and killing American citizens who are involved, if and when that day comes, in an open rebellion against this Nazi fucking bum. So that's what the toilet rat is hoping for. That's why I lost his shit. What? Wait a minute. Seditious behavior at the highest level. Ah! Jesus Christ. Senator Chris Murphy, Connecticut, said of Trump's response to this video, quote, "This puts us all in jeopardy. I mean, I'm literally thinking about what additional security I need when I'm back home this weekend, and I can't imagine what my colleagues who were the target of that attack are thinking about," end quote. Chris Murphy, Democratic senator from Connecticut. I can pretty much guess what they're thinking about, Senator. They're thinking about how in the actual fuck did we get to this point for a slobbering, slimy, felon, convicted, woman-abusing bastard got to the position of President of the United States with his landslide of 1.5% majority of the popular vote. Huh? Now, of course, the filthy, stinking Justice Department, run by the Bondi bitch and one of Trump's former criminal defense lawyers, Todd Boy Blanche, the Justice Department declined to comment on any of this. Todd Blanche said the day before, on Wednesday, in a Fox Sewer interview, that department officials had been reviewing the video and that the creators of that video, quote, should all be held to account, end quote. Blanche, you miserable little son of a bitch. You're a worm, Blanche. You really are. You're just, Jesus Christ, you cowards. All of you cowards. You should be condemning this son of a bitch who said what he said, but you won't do it, Blanche, because you know that he then will target you and maybe somebody will pick up a gun and shoot your ass. Right? Hi, Truth Seekers. Mike Malloy here. You know, the Progressive Voices Network brings you commercial-free commentary from today's leading progressive radio hosts and pundits, like me, Mike Malloy, 24 hours a day. I'm not your typical old guy from the 80s or the 90s talk radio host, and Progressive Voices is not your typical talk radio network. It's a listener-supported nonprofit with no corporate control whatsoever over our broadcast. So hosts like me, Mike Malloy, are free to rant and scream and carry on about whatever we like. We're often controversial, but we're never boring. Weeknights, 9 p.m. in the East, 6 p.m. in the West, on the Progressive Voices Network. Always progressive, always on. I'm Mike Malloy. Keep it lit.